Do you want me to start like back in my college days or before that?
Before that, I guess.
Before that?
Yeah.
So when I was in Walled Lake, because I went to Walled Lake, music was my absolute favorite subject. You couldn't get me away from there. And then I did orchestras outside of there, and I realized that's where I wanted my career to go. So I went to Central Michigan University, and then I was going to be a performance major. But to become a performance major and have the ability to eat and own a home is very difficult. So if you figure any major symphony has 10 basses, and there's usually only one major symphony per large city, odds of you getting in are very slim. And my dad told me I needed to have the ability to take care of myself. So he said, why don't you try education? And I never really thought about it. And then I started the course, and I loved it. And when I graduated, I got my job here, and I've been here ever since, obviously. So I'm starting my 8th year here. We have a JX certification. So you need to get your teacher ed degree, and then our endorsement is a JX, which is music. And it encompasses all music, not just orchestra, but you could teach band, vocal music, general music, so it encompasses all of that. I'm trying to think. I would recommend, if somebody were to go into the profession, to get a minor in another subject, because music is difficult to find a job in. I start my day with 8th grade orchestra, and all my students are together in one class, so that's about 45 students. And they're much more independent than the rest of my students, so they can tune themselves, and we just go through the music. Well, first we warm up with some scales, then we do the music, and then we usually do some kind of closing activity. 7th grade, I assist them with tuning, but they're slightly more independent than 6th grade. And again, we warm up with a book and music, maybe some other supplemental stuff. And 6th grade are, don't tell my son this, little babies. And they need lots of help, lots of assistance. So I help them tune, which takes a long time, and you as a former cello player know what that's like. So we tune them, and then it's kind of basically the same thing. We do a little bit of the book, then we do some music. Then after school, I usually stay about an hour after school. In the morning, I will usually get here about an hour before school. I have friends that start out first year teaching in the low 30s, maybe even in the high 20s. And depending on your district, you can go very high. You can go 80s, 90s, $100,000 a year. But it also depends on your education. Do you just have a bachelor? Do you have a master's? Do you have a doctorate? How many years you've been teaching? Do you have certification more than just one? The number of string openings is very small. In the state of Michigan, when I graduated many years ago, there were 3 openings in the whole entire state. The one I'm in, and there were 2 others. It has not gotten much better. So I would say the job outlook is not good in the state of Michigan. Plus, you have to think about when they cut budgets or there's financial problems, music is usually one of the first things to go, because it's a very expensive program to run. You do it because you love it. You do it because you love it. And that's why you gotta be the best in it, so when a job does open, they'd be silly not to hire you.